Can you believe that absolute, pardon the expression, crap yesterday? Headlines today that the government has ordered power firms to tell you how to save on your electricity account. And they'll tell customers when they're paying too much. I think Malcolm Turnbull and Josh Frydenberg, as I said earlier, need to go to the bottom of the garden. They might find some tooth fairies if they believe all that stuff. I mean, the people in Struggle Street know what the problem is. The renewable energy target, that's the problem. Ideology is the problem. Blind ideology. Global warming hoax. This is where we are. I said this would happen. And we'll find out how valid the ideology is when we walk to the mailbox and get the bill. 70,000 homes across New South Wales now, as I speak, are at risk of having their power cut off, because they can't afford their bills. Same in Queensland, same everywhere. Western Sydney has the top 10 metropolitan postcodes needing the most government help in order they can pay their electricity bills. And then, of course, we had the survey which was released this week showing exactly how we stand against the rest of the world, the Mercantile US Energy Information Administration. South Australia, I mean, you've got to juxtapose this against the fact that we are the most energy-rich country in the world. And here we have South Australia, the dearest electricity in the world. Denmark second, Germany third. Well, Merkel went mad about wind turbines and all that other rubbish. Italy fourth. Germany and Denmark mad on renewable energy. New South Wales fifth. Queensland seventh. Victoria eighth. It is a scandal, borne by government, that we are the richest energy nation on earth and consumers can't afford electricity. Well, David Leyonhjelm is the Liberal Democrat senator. Thank God we've got someone down there that can think outside the square. He's provided one answer amongst several, and that is remove the GST from electricity to immediately alleviate the pain of rising prices. Did they talk about that yesterday? Was there anything said about the renewable energy target? Oh, no. No. Oh, very significant policy reform. This energy corporations are going to tell you how to save. Senator Leyonhjelm's on the line. David, good morning.
Good morning, Alan.
They must think we're stupid, do they?
I think they must, yes.
Hey?
And they want the electricity companies to tighten their belt, but they don't think about tightening their own belt.
No.
And of course, electricity consumers have been tightening their belt now for some time.
It's pretty frightening, David, because as you said, it's not going to get better.
Oh, no, it's not going to get better. Not until something's got to happen so that we start building power stations again.
Correct.
There's no way.
And they won't be built overnight.
No, they'll take years to build.
Years to build. You made the point. Start with electricity, you say, is an essential service like water. Why is water GST free, but electricity isn't? It's pretty disturbing that you ask such simple questions. They don't understand them.
No, they don't. Fresh food is pretty important, and it's GST free. But is fresh food more important than electricity? I don't think so. You could live without fresh food. You could eat processed food and stay alive. But if you haven't got electricity and you freeze to death, you won't need much fresh food, will you?
Excellent. Anyone in the federal government, have you tried to talk to people about this? I mean, these people know everything. I mean, democracy's on the rack here because they're supposed to be representing the people. They represent themselves, some stupid ideology that they hang on to.
Yeah, it's mostly smoke and mirrors at the moment.
It is.
Alan. They're really not interested in substantive answers. This beating up on the power companies is really symbolic. I mean, the underlying problem, I know, is a lack of supply of electricity.
Yep.
And when you have a lack of supply and continuing demand, even
on anything,
the prices always go up.
Yeah, bananas, potatoes, electricity, same, isn't it?
Exactly, that's right.
But you made the point very, 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 and this is the guts of it, this discouragement of cheap power. We've allowed ideology to go on for so long, and I said 10 years ago, David, this would be a national economic suicide note. Well, here we are. The renewable energy target, which forces, you said this, coal-fired power stations and electricity consumers to provide massive subsidies to unreliable renewable generators. That's the guts of it.
Yes, that's right. And even just 18 months ago in the Senate, we had the bill to bring down the renewable energy target. And we said at the time, this is not going to solve the problem. This is just kicking the can down the road. Nobody wanted to listen to us.
No.
Nobody would pay any attention. And here we are, 18 months down the road, and the can has arrived. And there's no getting away from it. You can't kick it down the road this time. A fix is required, and the fix is not going to involve building more wind turbines, solar panels. That's not going to do it. And the thing is, what distresses me probably more than anything else is the fact that we are doing this to ourselves while the rest of the world ignores us. You look at Brazil, Russia, India, China in particular. They are putting out more emissions, which are supposedly the problem that we're trying to fix with all of this nonsense. And they're putting out more. They're not doing anything to reduce their own emissions. China said in the Paris Accord, we are not even going to look at reducing our emissions until 2030.
Correct.
2030. And in the meantime, we won't have a manufacturing job left in the country.
Correct.
Our poor people, our low-income people, pensioners and so forth, will be dying in their houses from the cold or melting in their houses in the hot summer.
Yeah.
And it's a tragedy.
And Morrison's heading towards $600,000 million of gross debt, and we have committed $200 million a year into the never under this Paris Agreement. $200 million a year.
Yes. Well, that's just bribing these countries not to criticise us too badly on international forums. What the irony of it, of course, is that the Indians are smart enough not to fall for this claptrap, so they need coal so they can build coal-fired power stations. They're buying our coal via the Adani coal mine in Queensland, which will open up. And I think that's a very good idea for us to sell them coal and for them to buy the coal.
Yeah, but I'm opposed to the Adani mine, but that's another story. But just to finish with an analogy, David, you make bread for a living, I make bread for a living. But the government says to David Leyonhjelm, we'll subsidise the bread that you make. Well, it's inevitable that eventually I close down. Yeah. So you're building turbines and solar panels. I'm building coal-fired power stations. They're giving you billions of dollars for your job. Well, my gig goes out of business. Look, hang in there, please, please, please. You're talking sense.
Thank you very much, Alan.
Good to talk to you, Senator David Leyonhjelm.